in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. And if you wanna be a chef, then I say cook it up. And if you wanna be the champ, well I say hook it up. Cause I can never tell you what you can't be. Yes I can, see a failure is something you can't be. Plus, I'll get you a shuttle if you feel that you need space. The sky's the limit, get you wings for your birthday. Whatever makes you happy, if you like it, then I love it. Turning nothing into something, I'm all in and I ain't bluffing. I'm who you got when the world ain't got your back, man. I pull over when life puts you in the fast lane. I'm in your corner like Bandini, if you tumble, I'll tell you like him. Rumble, young man, rumble, see. Some women go cause I ain't make them happiest. But who am I to impede on somebody's happiness? I guess I learned a lot by going with the flow of things. You fight the current like salmon, we die and go insane. That's why I stay up in my lane, just be a lyricist. And yes, I'm multifaceted, but not omnipotent. And what I do know is we all gon' have a path to take. And I won't be the one that's standing in somebody's way. There ain't no perfect life or perfect way to get success. But there's a perfect way to take the time to be yourself. And you gon' find it when you find it, ain't no rushing that. Too many get running this rat race, how many gon' just relax? When life ain't just about money, Jesus ain't die rich. Neither did Martin Luther Gandhi or Malcolm X. And one say life gon' constantly change, so don't get stuck in one space, you won't be open for things. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement. We about to have a conversation. I ain't got nothing to do today, so I might as well. So I saw the issue with Tyler Perry in the I guess I don't know if the guy's gay or straight, but I'm thinking he's gay. And now he has a lawsuit on Tyler Perry conveniently after his movie, Straw, I guess went to number one on Netflix. So in my mind, I'm like, he might be the only person that's able to do this. He should make a movie about it. And I'm gonna tell you why. As many times as we've talked about the Me Too movement and the stuff that goes on with black men, because this ain't the first time he's got this accusation. This is second. One of the guys is forgot the dude's name. Light-skinned dude. I think he was in a couple movies, and he's on All the Queen's Men. I know he's on that, or is it that or some other show? But he did the same thing. So in my opinion, I'm like, hey man, since you write stories and movies and television shows, you might as well write this Me Too thing in there. Since people want to get you for trying to get money out of you, make money off of it. Because it's interesting because people have had those rumors about Tyler Perry being gay for years. The Boondocks episode didn't help. You know what I'm saying? It really didn't help. But also his movies, there've been a lot of stories about an evil black man and a black woman who just going through everything in the world, right? Well, now it's time to go, maybe, black men aren't the big issue, because this is a pattern. because at some point, when people talk about the manosphere, this, that, and the third, and all these guys on the internet, how many times do we have to see this pattern? And the reason I'm using Tyler Perry as a reference is because, hold on, give me 1 second. My bad. The reason I'm using Tyler Perry as a reference is because, hey, it's looked at differently per se when it's men involved, a man with another man. See, Diddy thing is a man who y'all swore was having sex with other men, and now it's just coming out that he's just watching Cassie get her back blown out. So he was a man, he was rich, and he manipulated the woman, yada yada yada. And then you got, excuse me, the Zion Williams thing. You got the situation right now with Brittany Renner and Kevin Gates. Now she ain't Muslim no more. It looks like that, right? Who else, man? I think I said Zion Williamson. It was somebody else, Anthony Edwards. I can't keep up with all these stories. Actually, now that I think about it, I can't keep up with this stuff. Xavier Worthy, and I forgot the guy. There's a few other, man. It's too many to count. Let's just say that, because it's been going on for so many years. Yeah, it goes back to Jonathan Majors. It goes back to Kareem Hunt when he was playing for the Chiefs at his rookie year. But Tyler Perry needs to go, hey man, you know what? I need to make a movie about this. Yeah, she went Muslim, and then Shannon Sharp, because it keeps happening over and over and over and over again. Brian Banks, man. So now it's like, who? Michael, who? Michael, okay, got you. So now we have this issue, and at some point it's gonna have to get addressed by society, because what it looks like to me. I ain't got time. I'm live now. What it looks like to me is, since there's less people getting married and less people having kids, and quote unquote successful men ain't really don't have a harem like they used to, and ain't tricking like they used to. It basically looks like, hey man, everybody's, if they got a little change or possibly got a little change, it's time to meet to somebody. And it's difficult for society to deal with it, because even with the Tyler Perry thing, because it was two men that came out, the guy earlier, the light-skinned guy, and now this dude. People are like, oh well, it kind of don't count because it's looked at as homosexual activity. It doesn't have the same stigma as if this was a charge that a woman would come up with. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like, hey man, you might as well make a movie about this joint. Right. So, because now in essence, and it's a weird thing that happened, but in essence, Tyler Perry became the bad black man that he has in a lot of these shows and movies. He became that. And sometimes I look at it like when a brother gets in these positions, it's like, hey man, if it can happen to you, how many people do you think it actually happened to in life? I'm not going to say it's going to change anything about his point of view, the way he portrays black men a lot of the time, but they've been saying his material has been stagnant forever and a day. This could liven it up. Because at what point are we going, how can I say that? At what point
Is this going to be addressed? Remember, they had the thing where what was it, the Netflix thing that they said was about the adolescence. Oh, adolescence brought up the manosphere and the manosphere material and all this red pill stuff and these men this, these men that. It's like, well, I mean, y'all don't really want to make movies about male issues because it hits home. And this is even the thing with Tyler Perry. Um, how can I say this? His, from what I saw over the years, he just got more extreme because it got so far out of reality because the bad black man had to be, you know, it did get into just fantasy weirdo stuff. Like, you know, I remember watching Mia Culpa. It's just weirdo stuff. You know, but I gotta ask, like, if he could be the bad guy, anybody can be the bad guy, right? And this is where, you know, I don't want to. I'm using this as a stepping stone. Let's just say that, because don't get this. What I'm about to say is going. I'm not trying to put this on people or do people dirty, but I'm going to say that I remember Edward Anderson was talking about people who are like virtue grifting. You know what I'm saying? Like people who go, you know, men are supposed to be this and women are supposed to be that. And I wouldn't be surprised in the near future when people actually start counting up how much money that some of these social media influencers have and these YouTubers have. I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, wind up in a situation, you know, undeserving situation. You know, I think and what I mean is, there's no nice way to say it. Like the people on the whatever show, I wouldn't be surprised if some white girl just say, "Oh, you did something to me." You know, like Abba and Preach. I know one of us is married, so not him, but I think Preach is married. So Abba, you know, he comedian dating chicks, bada boom, bada bing. You know, it could be either one because, you know, women just, some of these ladies out here just go left and they just go, "You did something to me" or whatever. But what is because some of these conservative guys, you know, traditionalists, you know what I'm saying? Or even on the opposite side, you know, the Brandon Tatum or the Hodge twins, they meet the wrong white chick. Oh, and they black too. Oh man, it's gonna be Me Too Central. It's gonna be Me Too Central. You know, this is becoming it's beyond an epidemic. It's because it's always timed out. Like the minute somebody says this person's about to get money, like same thing with the NBA, NFL. The minute they go, "Hey man, somebody's in negotiation. Oh man, somebody finna get a deal." It's gonna be a chick just come out the blue. Oh, he hit it from the back one time in you know, in Florida. Yeah, I need half of that contract. It's the same thing. And when I think about it, you know, in a sense, Tyler Perry, you can make a movie on Kobe. Versus so not Kobe the whole thing, but you know, use that as a reference. The athlete story who went and had sex with a chick, and then the chick, "Oh my God, he took it." You know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You can have it. You can make the movie about with Morgan Freeman when they was doing the Me Too movement, and they was using his old interviews trying to throw him under the bus. And the black lady was like, "No, he wasn't. It's not like that." You could use that. You get what I'm saying? You could literally use that. You could use Kevin Hart, getting friends trying to extort him. You can use Kanye West. I remember he made a song about it. You know, my cousin tried to extort me, you know, so he took his laptop or whatever. You could use that. Just like it's no different right now than Ray J. You know how Ray J was looked at as the bad guy for the sex tape with Kim Kardashian, and then you find out that her mother set it all up really, and still to this day Ray J is the bad guy, and Kim could just walks around scot free. It don't make no sense. He's not gonna make a movie. Hey, he on the chopping block anyways. These black chicks was turning on him anyways. You know, they tried to do the Sean Connery. Is it, you notice these Black Panthers never? No, they tried to get TD. They've been trying to get TD Jakes forever and a day. They've been trying to. They linked TD Jakes to Diddy. I think they did something else on TD Jakes. Jamal Bryant is just notorious. Like some of these pastors, that rumor, is always there. But it's like, you could literally make a movie about this stuff. Because now it happens so much. And I remember they made a movie about this, something similar, and I forget. Alan Payne was the star of it. Alan Payne played a basketball player. And because it was actually based on a real life event. I think that's what people didn't know about that back then, because that was like in the 90s, 2000s. He played a basketball player that was dating a woman, and they were sleeping around together. And then he got taken to court, like around contract time, I think, because he had a child out there, and he was like, I don't have a child, because he had a good image or whatever. He's like, I don't have a child, not with this woman, because I don't know her. I don't know her. So they had to do a DNA test. They did a DNA test, and the baby was his, and everybody was turning on him. And then at some point in the movie, he looked in the courtroom and he saw his ex. And he's like, I don't know this lady that had this baby, but I know her. He was like, what? I know her. Like, that was my ex. And then they pulled the girl on the stand, and she spilled all the beans, right? And then he wound up with custody of the baby at the end of the movie. But this is a situation where, why not? Like because a lot of times when you have these situations, people try to pay people off and pay people to go away, yada yada yada. You could put all that in the movie, like, hey, yeah, somebody comes up with a fake allegation, let me go to TMZ, let me go to the media, and all of these media publications, you could put that in there. All these media publications put out all this dirt on people that ain't true. And you got to notice, the vast majority of the people that get done like this, somehow the story just dies and it goes away. They tried to do the same thing to Denzel Washington during the Me Too movement. So you don't have to even make yourself part of the story, but you could use a plethora of stories. A plethora of stories. He said, no, that wasn't Jerry Maguire. It wasn't Jerry Maguire. It was like a B, a B, what is it? I think a B movie or whatever is one of them. But he said Bill Cosby locked up. So yeah, Kel Mitchell, same thing. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And just like the ladies get off scot-free, the guys who doing this to tell the guy, he gonna get off scot-free. It's the same thing. And people just gonna go, oh well, it is what it is. And the irony, to get me too by a dude in Pride Month, ain't that some ish? That's how this goes. But you gotta start asking some real questions. Like, if you got a studio, because part of this is you got some guys who have a bad reputation. You know what I'm saying? That's why I put, Cat Williams, if you got it, what did he say? when Diddy want a party, you gotta tell her no. But now Diddy's in court about parties, with adults that act like they victims now. This is an interesting thing. But Diddy can't come out with a movie about this after it's over with. R. Kelly can't come out with a movie about this. Bill Cosby can't come out with a movie about this right now. But the only person that can, and the people who the other artists who this has happened to, they can't. A lot of people have been canceled, quote unquote, during the Me Too thing and the cancel culture, and the cancel culture. I don't know. It might be the name of that movie. I don't remember the name of the movie, but a lot of people been canceled behind it. That's why y'all brought up Jonathan Majors earlier. A lot of people. So now you got all these people who got canceled. Their careers stalled out. They lost money, yada yada yada. And on the flip side, you could do stuff like what's that lady's name? What's the young girl's name? Doechii. Being a straight black man, being a straight man is a red flag. Cool. Because you can juxtapose it with all of this other stuff. Because what was the Madea movie with what was the Madea movie with Bow Wow and Tiana Taylor? She wasn't really, she was looked at as a regular, bitter baby mama. Right. Is it black men? Right. Money grabs for the gram. Jesus. Because you see it all the time now. It's a lady in a blue dress, man. No, you're gonna have me look up this Alan Payne movie. I'm gonna find it. Alan. Yes, she's there. See before the Payne's Vampire in Brooklyn. Players Ball. Players Ball. That was the name of the movie. Players Ball. It was because I told you it was a long time ago. It was in 2003. So now, he can make his own little. This is worthy material to make a movie about. Because now you gotta pay lawyers, unnecessarily. Because you can talk about that, how somebody can slander your name if you're a public figure, and now you gotta pay lawyers just to squash something that you had nothing to do with. Oh, matter of fact, let me go back. Yeah, Byron Scott, same situation. Michael Irvin, remember how he got let go from his job like during the Super Bowl because of a fake Me Too thing. Go back to Michael Jackson. Now people see, 20, 30 years later, when people kept saying, no, man, Michael Jackson didn't do it, but he paid these people off. And it's like, yeah, he had to pay people off because they made these false allegations, and then two different families did it. Excuse me. So my bad. So now you can look at it over and over again. Now what's old boy name? Harwood, Corey Harwood. Since he working with Tyler Perry after his wife, in that janky divorce. Yeah, Jay-Z got it. Some kid walking around. I'm his son. He's my dad after all these years. It's like, oh, okay. That happened to Michael Jordan. That happened to Michael Jordan. That happened to Bill Cosby too. as a matter of fact. I think that happened to Dr. J, as a matter of fact. But there's always been this, this money grab type situation. And a lot of times these guys never was able to put it out. They was never able to defend themselves. There was nothing that actually talked about them. Did Shaq get one? I remember Shawnee did that. D Wade baby mama did that too. But over and over again, that was part of Tupac's story. That's what he got in jail for. Basically, Me Too. Mike Tyson, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith, they just been disparaging Will for, you could do a movie with a famous guy and his wife throws him under the bus, because she does the same thing. Every time something happens with Will where he's gonna make a bunch of money, she throw him under the bus. Oh, you got a movie that's coming out that's getting hyped? Oh, I'm throwing you under the bus. Tory Lane, Latrell Sprewell. No. I don't think Latrell. People remember Latrell for the damn coach. That's what they remember Latrell for. It's Sprewell, not Speedwell, but I get it. He's a lateral Speedwell. Who else got? Who else did they do that to? You saw Pusha T trying to throw LeBron under the bus with that recently. He dissing everybody. By the way, Pusha T, you kind of a sucker, dog. You dissing LeBron, you diss Drake, now you dissing Travis Scott, and it's like you one of them people that, you try to get information on people to diss them later, but you wouldn't say shit to their face. It's like, yeah, that's weak, son. That's weak. They try to do Barry Bonds like that? Dang. But this happens so much now. Like, I don't see how it's taken seriously now. Like, I'm at that point in life where I'm like, I don't see how this stuff is taken seriously. I don't see how you can go, oh yeah, man, somebody else said it, I believe her. I believe him. It's like, man, go on somewhere. Get out of here with that. Get out of here. You get what I'm saying? Like, and the weird part about it is, you see this over and over again, and it's the same reaction. Like I said, with Tyler Perry, it's not going to be the same reaction because it's a guy doing it. If it was a woman doing it, oh man, they it'd be a public lynch. Because he's the movie maker that empowers the women and the black women. Oh my God, he can't. What has he done? It'll be that, but no. See, now, like, people like playing that game now. I saw one. Yeah, Skip Bayless got it. They just came out with one on Fat Joe. I don't know how real that is or not, because you can find something on social media and it's real, and you can find something that's fake. But not, but it was one I saw on Fat Joe. He did something to somebody, and it's like, okay, we're gonna keep doing this over and over and over again. So the other thing about a lot of guys is, you're gonna see more, and I'm gonna put this out there. You're probably gonna see more successful, famous black men in particular really be passport bros for real, because they're gonna get tired of the idea that somebody could come up out of the blue and mess with them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get tired of that. So, like, I'm gonna just be abroad. I'm gonna just be out here and out there, which in some ways could bring more heat than positivity, because people will be like, oh, that's you left out the country to do all that stuff because you couldn't do it in America. It's that type of stuff. They trying to get Michael B. Jordan. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. But this is all Me Too opportunism. It's and it's gotten to the point where, like I said, it's not real. It's just not real. So, I hope the best for Tyler. I really do. I don't think anything's gonna come of this, because the first time it happened, old boy was like, and this is the interesting thing with guys. Um, People don't take a man trying to extort another man for money in a Me Too type of equation as seriously as they do a woman. So when because the last dude was like, if you give me this, if you give me what I want, then all this stuff is gonna go away. It's like, oh, because it's like, as a guy, you can openly extort another man, because you can't cry crocodile tears. You can't go, oh my god, yeah, he essayed me with the Medea dressing wig on. I need $100 million. Like, you just don't know. You don't understand. He was talking like Medea the whole time he was doing it to me. Like, nobody's gonna hear that. Nobody's really gonna hear that. They're like, okay. So, when it comes down to it, you're gonna see this more and more and more and more. And 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 the reason why I'm saying this is gonna happen more and more, and it's gonna happen to people, and I was just using people as an example, like YouTube influencers and all that. It's gonna happen more and more because the economy is getting worse and worse for people. People are, the people don't have as much money as they used to. Money's tightening up. So believe you me, this is normal behavior. This is normal behavior. I forgot there was I forgot the baseball player that just got basically acquitted. It ruined his career. Chris Brown didn't got Me Too multiple times. They, it's just the ladies love Chris. But Patrick Bauer, thank you. To me, it's like, yeah, Tyler, you this could, I ain't gonna say this could add another layer to your actual catalog of this, of material. And it's something that happens in real life, because I think a lot of the stuff he does, it's kind of amalgamation of, I would say, childhood and the church, and it's some extreme stuff in between. So I think he's a person that writes off of, things he's been through or witnessed, or just made a mountain out of a molehill. The game, when you said the blame, the game got Me Too. I got to give a girl a $7 million thing, like a house, because it's weird, man. Like this stuff gets old, but it doesn't get old because it keeps happening over and over and over again. So to me, it's like, hey man, you should make a movie, bro. Go ahead, put it out in theaters. People, it'll be interesting. Since it's Tyler Perry, ironically, if I say this: make a Me Too movie and make the star a woman. If you don't want black women to throw you under the bus, make the star a woman. Make the star a successful black woman. Kind of like Mary J. Blige, you know, make it start a black woman, and she was out there just doing her thing and being rich. And then the guy said, "Hey man, hey, she made me eat the box. I had to eat the groceries. Oh, you know, she made me buy baby oil. You know, she forced me to do threesomes with her and another woman. Yeah, I need $100 million. And then women to eat that up. They're like, yeah, this is what these men doing to us every time we get a little money. They out here trying to get us for everything. Yeah, they can do that. They can do that. But like for me, that's what crossed my mind when I saw that today. But I ain't gonna hold y'all long, man. I just want to. It crossed my mind to talk about, so I'm gonna get up out of here. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.
Now, welcome to the saga of the kryptonite life. When some of the days go wrong and then some of the days go right. Meaning life can make you weak, but we can walk you to the light. The life where dreams come true are just the nightmares of the hype. Where love and hate are roommates, pleasure and pain are friends. Peace and war and lovers, insane and insane are twins. Cause I want it all and nothing ain't enough for me. And all I need is love, but why y'all all up under me? Plus I would like to see every single lady's sex face. At the same time, man, I'm looking for my soulmate. I feel so religious, spirits living up above. But I gotta admit, I want my chariot with dogs. And I could be a Superman and I could set you free. But honestly, I need the cash and I'm charging a fee for my cigarettes and water, my fruit juice and my alcohol, my salads and my pork chop. I got high cholesterol. Lois said she loved me, then she hit me up for child support. Lex baby mama ain't gon' never take his ass to court. Got me in this nightclub, trying to get my mind right. When she bent over, I was looking at my whole life. So once upon a time on a planet called Earth, a man dug in his pockets just to see what he was worth. Well, rabbit ears were more than Eric B. and Rakim. Then the infinite power that he was holding within got him kinda confused, obligated, misused. Got in front of a microphone a couple times and he spewed his whole guts. Some of the things he loved and some of the things he lost. Some of the funky